Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun, and I finally finished with Decision Day for Married at First Sight, and this is the last thing. Let's get into it. So Juan had talked with his family, and Carla had talked with her sister and her friend, and Juan likes Carla. He views her as a friend, and they have formed a strong bond, but the romantic side, it just was not there. I don't know if he was all the way in with her, but it was just something that was keeping him from her, right? Because she was all the way in, and she would have been with it had he been with it. But what I will say, like Juan, I too was tired of all the energy, the crystals, and all of that. And he just couldn't get with it. It was just a lot, right? And since Carla is such a free spirit and this is who she is, she did right. So she said that she wanted a divorce, and he said he wanted a divorce. And he said he has a forever friend, and he would, always speak nicely of her. And I think they ended it on a good note. Whew. These two, right? The experts let Alan know that they really didn't expect him to come, and they would have understood if he didn't come. And Pastor Cal apologized to him on behalf of all the experts, because this is not what this show is about. He said he wasted his time and he was aggravated. And that's exactly what happened, because Madison was a waste of time. And when he called her transactional, although he didn't mean to use that word, that was the perfect adjective to describe who she was. When Madison had come in to sit down, Alan was looking straight forward. He never looked at her face. She sat down and she began to apologize right off. And she was like, she did have feelings for him, but she felt like she and David had more of a connection. And she apologized for it. And then later on, she got a little defensive because he wasn't even trying to hear it for her, right? And then she was like, well, it is what it is, And she was like, it seems like he's being spiteful. He wouldn't even look at me. Like, no, he's not going to look at you because you broke his heart. You broke his heart and you lied to him. And he was like, why didn't you just come and let me know? Because he said he had a feeling and he was just trying to meet her on her level. But he knew something was off, like at the wedding, on the honeymoon. So this is over. And so the experts were like kind of trying to get him closure from Madison. He was like, I don't need that. He says kind of like a switch, right? It's off and on. So he has nothing for her. And when they asked about David, he was like, David is dirt to me, right? Because even when David was like, before everything rolled out on the couples retreat, David was talking to him knowing that he sent Madison that text message. Like, he is the worst. I don't think David and Madison really want to be married. I think they just want to meet people. Then when David and Michelle got together, David came in. He apologized. He said that he caught feelings for Madison. And although that was hurtful, Michelle wanted to ask questions, and every question she asked David, she didn't believe anything he said. So at some point, it came to the point where it was like, why are you even asking him anything when you're not going to believe him anyway? So just stop it, right? So she told them that she wanted a divorce. David is very selfish. He said he's checked out. He's pursuing Madison. And what else did he say? He asked Michelle, does she care about him? She said yes. He said, I don't care about you. And then he went on to put his ring on the table. Like that meant something. The ring didn't mean anything after you sent Madison that text message, David. So you putting that ring on the table made you look even more crazy. And MM and Itchy Man, it was horrible. Now, MM was a little aggressive. She was. But she meant well, and she was in for the ride. He is horrible. The fact that he didn't make it in Houston and then came to Chicago and made it, and then he acted a fool with her, because she's a great pick. But the difference between them is he has a boss and she is a boss. The fact that an air fryer and a karaoke machine just threw him over the cliff, he was never going to be enough for her. Never. And he proved that every time they got together. This was my saving grace for the whole season. Camille and Thomas. I love these two, and I thought they were a perfect match. I think she brings a lot out of him. He brings a lot out of her. She's 32, he's 42, so she's like a PYT for him. And he's smitten with her, and he told her that he loved her, and she told him that she loved him too. But I do agree with Camille. He's going to have to get a backbone. He's going to have to start leading. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to start making some decisions, because she can't make all the decisions. And if she does, she's going to get tired of that. But she's young enough to have children, and he will finally have a family. I love them together. I thought they were perfect for the show, and I could see it from the beginning. And I'm glad that this worked out. So like a couple of weeks later, they all gathered together to talk about who got married and who divorced, right? David and Madison showed up together. It kind of pissed Michelle off a little bit, but Madison seemed to have a lot of energy, and she was on like a level 10, and she was really going at Michelle. Like, she was saying Michelle didn't like David. Michelle turned around at the bar and was like, you want to wait till I get over there before you start talking about me and what I feel about whatever I did? Yeah, babe, you can come over here and I'll say it all over again. Girl, sit down, okay? It was so funny when David walked in and he shook everybody's hand. Ellen said, I'm not shaking your hand. Like, it was wild. Ikechi, Itchy Man, and MM, they had words. It was just way too much. I'm glad that this is over. Next week, we'll see the rest of this little get together. And then child MM is engaged. So we'll see that next week. This was a great season, y'all. A great season. And I'm so glad you all made me watch it, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.